And boo! Yay! Look at that. You are live. That's what it says. Hi, folks. Yay, 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 yay. I am indeed the Lavender Lady, Diana Clarion. And over there, no, wait a minute. I'm not pointing the right way.
You're pointing the right way from my perspective.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure we see those windows the same way on our screens.
Yeah, okay. I'm doing the pointing here. And I'm pointing away from you in order to point toward you on the screen.
Well,
yeah, my camera's
pointing
reversed.
at you right now.
And I'm watching you point at me.
Okay.
Yay! I can never get these things straight. Well, yeah, you're talking about straight and you're talking about me. It just doesn't go together. How is everybody?
Obvious joke is obvious.
Yeah, there you go. There's Tornado over there, and there's Brain Bug. Hi, dear. Yay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello. So you know how I often leave when I'm hungry? And I kind of forgot to eat breakfast today. But
holy fucking shit.
But you know what's your fault? This is your fault.
Oh, my word. Okay. All right. Now we're talking. I had 2 pints of this stuff today.
Pints? Oh, my gosh. Okay, you know what? You need to start buying in smaller quantities. I mean, you keep talking about, like, eating healthy and stuff, but if you eat everything you bought in one sitting, and then, I mean, it doesn't work like that.
I ate one. The way you make it is you boil a cup of water and you put the powdered stuff in there, and then you add cold water and you stick it in the defibrinator. Okay, there's a pint of it. And I said, okay, I'm going to eat a pint. Yum, 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 yum. And later on the same day, several hours and one nap later, I said, I'm still hungry. I want another one. So I had cherry flavor and orange flavor. And oh, look, orange. Yay. Woo.
Yeah, now, do they still, or in fact, did they ever actually make this stuff out of boiled horse hooves?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I bite my own nails, so it's not as gross as people try to make it sound, but still weird.
Oh, man. I'm trying to remember how it happened, but I actually quit that right about the time I started my transition. And I'm not sure. I used to be a big, 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 big nail biter.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah. And maybe about 10 years ago, I quit. And unfortunately, my nails still keep coming apart. Instead of slivers coming off, from the outside edge, they start delaminating. It appears that the fingernails are made in layers. And the layers keep coming apart. Yeah, and not good.
I've just got some weapons grade ADD. So, and I can't stand it when things aren't even. So I just end up
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, things are not like that here. Okay, my left hand, you've got, fingernails going over here, but a short thumbnail. And over here, you've got one decent fingernail, and the rest of them are all
like a 1980s Coke nail.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like,
but I mean, another benefit though to being a bit of a nail biter, a good lesbian knows to keep her nails trimmed.
Yes.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
There's like that meme that goes around every now and then where like one hand has the best nails you ever saw and the other hand is like the shortest nails you ever saw. And
yeah, pretty much.
I know it was the Pinky Finger family. I said it was like an 80s Coke nail. Like, similar to.
Resembling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's amazing how many people, like I was just talking to my dad earlier today, and my dad doesn't quite understand how not sloppy I tend to be with my language. We're like I'll ask him for some very specific information, but he didn't quite digest the superlative I used. and doesn't realize I'm asking about, like, for information on the same topic, but in a very narrow range. And he's giving me the whole spectrum. And I'm like, Dad, no. I said very. That did not mean medium. You know?
Oh my.
Yeah, it's deeply frustrating. So when I say, wow, that's similar to X, and someone says, no, that was the other, I'm like, I said similar.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my. Yeah, well, I'm starting to wonder if that sort of thing happened. If you remember Sunday, I mentioned that I wasn't able to take a shower because there was a bit of a problem with the hot water around here, and that got fixed. I had put in a request via the web portal that they use, and I told them that, okay, when I turn the tap on the left, nothing comes out. The next day, everything was fixed. Now, what I'm wondering is, that other person I was talking to who said, oh, I called and they said they wouldn't. Okay, now what's going on here? Did she call and describe it the wrong way? Describe in a way that it didn't sound as serious as it was? Did the person...
She call the wrong number?
That's another one, yeah. Or the answering service that she talked to, because this was on a Saturday. Nobody was in the office. I don't know that anybody's in the office on weekdays either. Maybe that answering service person had no idea what she was talking about and only knew what was on the script in front of her. And
I
then,
hate script monkeys.
Yes, absolutely. And there's the other possibility that that person I had talked to and who said, they said they couldn't do it was just stupid. It's entirely possible.
You gotta wonder sometimes.
Yeah, I have to wonder. Oh, that's interesting. Wait a minute. Tornado says, I got some Kit Boga playing. What the hell is that? No idea. Okay. You're going to have to go into detail about that one. But this is the thing. And okay, I know how I'm going to sound when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I am here surrounded by a sea of stupid. And it's really work just to get through a day, for Christ's sake.
Well, hell, I'm surrounded by a planet of stupid.
There you go.
I mean, seriously, how many times do I watch people give opinions or watch politicians go on about this, that, or the other thing? I'm just like, how fucking stupid are you people?
Yes.
You know? It's like, okay, so many people go, oh, I would vote third party this time around, but Trump bad. And I'm like, okay, but imagine what would happen if you and I and everybody else voted third party all at once. And they're like, but that's not safe because Trump. I'm like, yes, but imagine if we all did it. But Trump. Right. Yes, but if we all did it, and they it's like they're not even considering what I'm saying.
Right,
it's just all Trump. And I'm like, my goodness, this is so stupid. Like, could you at least consider the point? Rather than just Trump, like, this is where people are running on automatic instead of thinking.
Right. There's the thing that I described a couple of times already. I'll describe it again, where prior to the nomination thing, Mr. Biden put out one of his little tweet things and everything. And I responded to it with, it would really be nice, sir, were you to consider, say, Medicare for All or UBI or something like that. And the first response I got within seconds was, why are you supporting Trump? Notice in my response, Trump wasn't showing up at all. It was.
And how is making a request of a politician supporting another politician instead?
Yes, that's what I'd like to know. And the whole thread jumped on my arse, and it didn't even feel good because they just don't get it. It's Look, I'm asking you, sir, not necessarily saying that I will not endorse you. I'm simply saying, could you consider doing this little thing? And I would be even more inclined to endorse you than I already am, which is about that much. I didn't say that, but
Hmm.
Well,
Well,
what the hell?
I have to ask a question though. Hey, Brainbug, what piece of classic sci-fi literature? Hmm. Also, nope, one wasn't enough.
You're giving me shit.
Well, this is all I've had to eat today. So, I mean, I think I'm allowed 2 of them.
There you go. Yeah, they're yummy and tasty. Really, they are. But that there is about the size of the cup I would get as part of the liquid meal when I was in the ICU, and then that size cup full of chicken broth, and then a 12-ounce can of ginger ale, and that
Mm.
that was my meal. Yeah.
Well, if I'm ever on a liquid diet, I'm going to say, okay, here's what you do. You take that big old steak, you stick it in a blender. Eventually it'll be.
Slurp a
Yeah.
lunch. Yes. Yeah, for those of you, those of you who are familiar with some of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force episodes may remember Slurp a Lunch. Those who are not, think of Mickey D's Run Through a Blender.
Well, here's an idea. What you do is you get like some pork and grind that up in this, liquefy it in the blender, put it in a gigantic cup and serve it as a pig gulp.
Oh my! I have
possible. I'm not okay, but still,
I have a comment in mind regarding liquefied pigs, but I don't think I should mention it.
does it have something to do with blue lives and how much they matter?
Actually, no. It has something to do with a couple of religious groups.
Ah, so you're not saying you smell bacon.
Right. No, that comes later. Oh my word! Hi, harmonica man! Yay! Oh my! Yeah, I don't know. Is well, yeah. Kate, you said you're not okay. A couple more Jello, she'll be fine.
Actually, I was talking to my parents last night after a sort of a Zoom meeting with the extended family, because we're starting to do these like once a month family gathering things, because we couldn't have our actual family reunion, obviously. So we've been doing them online, virtually, right? I'm realizing that I can't relate to any of these people at all, and they don't seem able to relate to me. We do not have really anything in common except for relatives, And
Yeah, okay.
so I'm like, this stinks, but every time I want to try to redirect the conversation to something that I'm interested in, nobody bites, and I kind of feel like an asshole because I'm interrupting everyone else's day where they all seem to be relating to each other. And I was thinking, you know what? I've been talking about it for a while, and it might be time to get my ass tested for autism or Asperger's.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet of yours, and I really can't help you out with that one because the only thing I could think of that you might run into would be that you would face, call it discrimination, if you will. People know about, were you to come up as an Aspie, people know about that and say, oh, well, we're not liking that very much. Bye-bye, Kate.
But you have to ask which people. Also, I want to say hi to Purple. But which people?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know exactly which people. In other words, I don't know how many of them. I know that there's a certain core.
Rewind. in what position are these people that the knowledge of any autism on my part would allow them to affect my life in any kind of tangible or meaningful way? By which I mean, would I ever be denied services or access to this, that, or the other thing? Would I be not denied a license? Would it be a pre-existing condition for insurance purposes? That kind of thing. I'm talking practical matters here.
Yeah, and the thing about the pre-existing condition, you never know what it might be. Yeah, I mean, if you tried to access mental health related stuff, maybe that would be pre-existing. I don't know that you would, want to access mental health stuff anyway. But I mean, if you don't have the money to pay for the really good stuff, my suggestion is to avoid the mental health stuff altogether.
Well, I mean, right now I'm not paying a damn thing for medical care, so who knows? Maybe this is included.
Okay, maybe.
But I mean, because that is my main concern. Like, I don't care about any social repercussions about saying to people, "Guess what? I got tested and I'm autistic." I'm okay with that. It's not like I'm not strange enough already. Left-handed adopted multiracial lesbian atheist is not exactly normal, right? So if I add Asperger's or autism on top of that, whatever, it's just gilding the lily, basically. It's putting one more frosting flower on the cake that is Kate. So I don't mind that part. It's just the practical matters, the legal and the other stuff. That is where I'm starting to wonder if I could run into problems.
Yeah, and it would not surprise me that there are problems you could run into. I just don't know exactly which ones.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm asking the question of the internet at large. Because, I mean, if there are unforeseen repercussions, it's probably for the best if I make them seen. Or ask other people to do it.
Moo, yes.
And but that's why when people asked, "Are you okay?" my answer is,
Yeah, Well, actually, you're KF, but that's beside the point. No.
Besides, if you want to get technical, it's KHF.
Okay, then.
How does one abbreviate her ladyship? Because I can abbreviate Reverend, that much I got. But, like, if you're writing down your name and you're putting all your titles in it.
Now, what comes to my mind right away, oh my God, where's that feedback coming from? If it's me, I want to fix it. What comes to my mind first is that an abbreviation for Her Majesty is HM. So would Her Ladyship be HL?
I don't know. But it doesn't have to be Her Ladyship. Just lady is fine.
Okay, that one.
Let's see. LDY it says here. Oh, but that's internet. But that's internet slang.
Oh.
I don't think that it counts for like titles.
Right.
And
all I'm seeing are definitions. I'm not seeing abbreviations, even though I specifically asked for abbreviations.
Maybe you're only able to write it out, which means that I can't put like, LDY Rev KHF, like you can't do that. And do you think you're allowed to call yourself the first if you're royalty? Or do you have to wait until there's a second before you get to be the first?
Oh, that's interesting. I'm thinking that, okay, right off the top of my head here, I'm thinking that there should be at least a prospect of a second. So, I mean, if you intended to have kids, then you might be able to get away with calling yourself, Kate the First.
But what if Kate II is not the heir apparent?
Yeah, there's the other one.
Because it seems like people only get to be firsts and thirds, at least as far as nobility are concerned, if they are ascending the throne or whatever. You know? Like, I mean, there's plenty of people out there who are firsts, thirds, fifths, whatever, just because their family does that. But, like, I think with royalty, I don't think you get to be the second if you don't assume the throne.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that puts a weird-ass picture in my mind, but that's another story entirely.
Yes, but still.
Yeah, because, I mean, you've got Charles the First, but there was also Charles II. I mean, before number 2 appeared, was Charles the First, or was that simply Charles? I don't know.
Well, I remember that reading somewhere that World War I was just called the Great War until World War II broke out.
Right. Which is kind of interesting when you think about it, because really World War II was just pretty much a continuation of World War I with a 20-year ceasefire in between.
Sorry, I found a bunch of abbreviation rules, and I'm trying to find lady on here. It seems to be like noble titles are the one thing that they're not bothering with. Oh, also, it doesn't help that my webcam is in the way. If it looks like I'm trying to dodge bees, it's just because my webcam is covering the screen. Let's see. How to abbreviate? Let's put noble titles in the search. Well, it says here emperor and king are never abbreviated.
Okay.
I've never heard of a landgrave. Margrave I've heard, but never landgrave. How odd. Wow, Herzog is German for duke. I didn't know that. I've heard Herzog before. Never knew it was German for duke.
I've heard it as a surname.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I've never heard it like that origin here. British titles of nobility. These aren't abbreviated. Damn it. I am not finding abbreviations for nobles. I mean, okay, PR is prince and PSS is princess. I bet there's a lot of princesses out there who hate that. Let's see, like Archduke apparently doesn't have an abbreviation, but it's listed. They're not just listing, well, I mean, I see like barons and baronesses. Not seeing just nobles, like landless nobles. I don't see that.
Okay, then.
Maybe I should put landless in there.
Yeah.
Landless
What could it hurt, right?
titles. Abbreviation of titles, styles, and ranks. Oh, wow. There's a lot of these. Let's just do a search.
It's amazing how many there are, actually, and how few of them are generally known.
Well, this doesn't help. Because, like, okay, LT is the abbreviation for Lady Companion of the Most Ancient and Noble Order of the Thistle. How the frick do you use it?
Okay, it's a new one on me.
CI is Lady of the Imperial Order of the Crown of India. This is way beyond what I'm after. Well, whatever. I'll give it up. I'll just write, Reverend the Lady Catherine Haley Farr. I don't need an abbreviation. Thank you, language.
Oh, shite. Sue
Actually,
Phoenix
yeah,
Wright.
Harmonic Man. Lady Thistle sounds like an interesting character. I don't know for what, probably something vaguely Harry Potter-esque, but Lady Thistle sounds like a good fantasy character name.
Okay, yes. Very nice. Right up there with Lady Thimble. I don't know.
Thimble doesn't sound as cool as Thistle.
Mm.
It's funny. There was an episode of The Big Bang Theory where, like, Sheldon was talking about topics he might want to discuss, and one of them was artichokes. Come on, people! It's just a giant thistle. Was one of the and he's probably not wrong, but it's tasty as fuck, so I don't care.
Oh my! I have actually not had an artichoke. One of the few things I have not eaten.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Purple, I'm seeing what you wrote on Twitter, and I have done online tests, believe me, many times, and almost to a one. Almost all of them have me like 1 to 3 percentage points below the threshold for being autistic. And I'm like, okay, so I'm close anyway. But you're right. Yes, knowing for myself whether I'm autistic would be nice. That's one of the reasons why I'm asking about official, like legal repercussions more than social ones.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just figured I'd address that because Brainbug mentioned Twitter and a message about, I assume that sci-fi thing you wanted me to read. And so I went to Twitter looking for it, and I saw Purple's comments. So.
Moo. Oh my.
Yeah, and family, that would be kind of cool to get someone to do sort of like a WWF kind of walking into the ring announcer voice for like one of my intros or something, maybe.
Yeah. Why not?
LFS. Lady for Sealand? Lady from Sealand? What? Oh, that's not how you spell San Diego, but okay. So.
Yeah, what is it that Diego corresponds to? Is that James?
Huh?
I'm remembering that the Spanish Diego corresponds to something in English, and I'm trying to remember what it is. And is it James?
I actually think it's David.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Or it might be Doug. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, it says James, Jacob, Jake, and Jim here.
I thought I remembered being startled by what it was. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, it says here, in reverse, James can be translated to Spanish not only as Diego, but also as Iago, Jacobo, and Santiago. Well, it says also these days it is unusual for the Spanish name Jaime to be used as a translation of James. I knew that one already, although I usually think of it as Jamie rather than James, but yeah. Well.
Okay, and then, yeah, what you've got is a literal translation I just looked up means may God protect.
You know, that actually was a difficulty I was having in naming the characters from my animation because I didn't want to give them terribly religious names. You know, like there probably won't be too terribly many Davids and Michaels in Quinn Redshift, right? Okay. So I had to go looking for the most secular names I could find and ended up deciding, you know, this will never work. I'm just going to look for the most non-Abrahamic names I can find.
Alrighty then.
Because let's face it, just about every name has some sort of biblical connotation in the English-speaking world.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of interesting the way the names are chosen, and mainly, at least in the English-speaking world, for their biblical references, or the Christian world. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you look at Star Wars, for example, every time I see the name Luke, I'm like, I realize that the Bible came first, but Luke will always be this Luke. And the Bible copied him. I don't care if it came first. Besides, Star Wars happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It probably predates the Bible.
Yes, it did. Yes.
Also, I see Stool is here.
Oh my! There goes the neighborhood.
I know, right?
Hi, sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh my! Oh my!
So, anywho, that's been my world lately, is trying to decide whether or not to get tested for autism and Asperger's, and whether or not it's worth it to do so. That's kind of been my world since about 9 p.m. last night.
Okay.
Well, that, and I sort of ran out of weed last night, and I wasn't happy about it.
Oh, darn it.
Well, I stocked up again, so, I kind of want to start trying other delivery methods other than vape, though. Preferably something less inhaley.
Okay, so wait a minute. You don't want to consume it?
What?
I'm stretching this.
Well, apparently to breaking point, because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, because you don't want it inhaley. With a reference to your middle name.
Oh. Yeah, no.
I mean, that was so close to the breaking point, it was starting to tear.
Yeah. And family, yeah, edibles, but they tend to not affect me that much. I've actually been looking at, now I can't get them at the place I usually go to, but there's another place that has tinctures where you put them under the tongue, like a couple of drops, and let it do its thing that way. And I want to try one at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might actually do something, because allegedly that whole sublingual administration route is, more effective with everything than eating the stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I should probably take a longer break than I have, though, because after a while I do build up an immunity, and maybe that was part of the problem with the edibles I tried. Oh, and Mage Grey Wolf, yeah, CBD, great. I kind of want to go to Trip Out City if I can, so CBD won't help me much, but thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh my. Now, that's interesting, though, when you talk about that. To my memory, anyway, I never really did have that problem of developing an immunity. But then again, I didn't do the stuff as much as some people I knew.
Well, I mean, I only started in the last year or so.
Well, I don't know. In other words, are you an everyday consumer under normal circumstances, or?
It's yeah, more or less. I mean, not always, but more or less. Like usually, okay. I don't start until about 8 or 9 at night.
Okay, so that may be a bit of the difference there. That I was not an everyday smoker. Maybe over the weekends, but that was it.
Well, and part of why I want to find other methods of delivery is because after a while, smoking that much, even with a vape, can have health impacts I don't want. So that's why I'm looking at possibly tinctures, because edibles aren't that great. And if I can just put a couple of drops of something under the tongue, if it does what it needs to do,
why not? Yeah. Plus, I mean, being a tincture with the alcohol support the high or not? I don't know if there'd be enough there. Because a tincture is an ethanolic solution, actually.
Well, it's possible they just call it that.
Okay.
Because, I mean, like they might have decided, well, the delivery method is similar. We'll just use the term. So, I'm saying it may be a mistake to be pedantic in this case.
It usually is, but that never stopped me before.
No, I mean, there are definitely times when being pedantic is a benefit, but this isn't one of them.
Okay, probably just THC oil. Okay.
The tincture.
Yeah.
I hope it's more than that, because honestly, weed all by itself tastes nasty.
Yeah, well, the flavor of the stuff, it's like dry leaves. Well, guess what?
Well, every vape is a flavored vape when it comes to weed. A lot of them go for weird earth tones that taste nasty. Some are actually sweet and fruity. And like the last one I got was Blackberry Kush, it was called, and it definitely tasted like blackberries. So I mean, with the vapes, they try to cut the actual weed taste.
Okay.
Right, let's see. What was this one? This was the this is it. Blackberry Kush.
Yay.
Yep.
Okay, indica.
Yep. Although I seem to have better results with sativa myself, or hybrids.
Okay.
Yeah. It is interesting to start learning about all this stuff. Like, it's not the same as stoner culture, because we're not all just sort of sitting around going, yeah, man, you ever think about stars? We're not doing that bullshit. But there is a lot of like back and forth between people about what's good, what's bad, and why, and this, that, and the other thing, and different, like I say, delivery methods. And, it's always interesting to immerse yourself in a subculture that prior to then was alien, especially if it's something where you have an interest, and just learning all of these rules and rituals and expectations and jokes and stories and all that stuff. It's fun,
Yeah, why not?
Oftentimes when I think about people who do religion, it just seems like they're going to their clubhouse. It's like I have my board game nights. They have God Sundays,
And I really wish, here's the thing, I was thinking about this a few days ago. I really wish that the religions would be treated as the social groups they are. Where they're on the same level as a stamp collecting club. One of those deals.
My first thought was like, the Loyal Order of Buffalo, or the Rotary Club, or the Elks Lodge, or any of those. The Masons, that kind of thing.
And I take it that those, by and large, are nonprofits, but they have to demonstrate that they're worth it, right?
Well, I mean, I'm actually not really sure even what the Rotary Club does, let alone the Elks Lodge or whatever. Everything I know about all those weird little society things that they do is that Shriners wear fezzes and drive tiny cars. It's like everything I know about these people,
It's pretty much, all the way around, except that the headgear might change from place to place. I mean, really, it's just a bunch of, I think, by and large, old men getting together and doing whatever old men do.
I know. I get the impression that there's secret handshakes and shit, and you have to get in like it's a fraternity or sorority.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
but so much of what I guess you could call knowledge comes from comedy. You know, like I've watched TV shows where people join those things. I remember they had some of that in Bloom County. I think that's where like the Loyal Order of Water Buffalo or whatever came from, and all of that stuff. So it's like you know, I have the parody satire version of what these things are like in my head. I have no idea what they're really like.
Yeah, reminds me of the Flintstones, where you had that.
Oh, that was the Loyal Order of Water Buffalo.
Yeah, and they had the handshakes and the dances and the headgear and all this other happy shit.
What was the one in Bloom County? Because I know they had like those big furry like British Guard hats, but with antlers coming out of them.
Oh my, Loyal Order of Jackalopes. I don't know.
Although it might have been antelopes. I don't know. Loyal Order of let me see here. Images. Oh, wait a minute. I know a better way to find it. Let's try, because they had a mating call that went bloop, bloop, bloop.
Oh, it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
It's the Moose Lodge. It's a Moose Lodge. Okay. How the hell do you load the picture? This is a weird site. Okay, let's just try opening the image. Open image in new tab. There we go. Oh, that's just a thumbnail. Fucking hell, I hate it when sites do that. But anyway, it seems to be that they're the Loyal Order of Water Buffalo.
Okay.
Or, sorry, what did I say? No, Moose Lodge. That was it. It was the Moose Lodge. Yeah. Man, that thumbnail is the only version of this strip I can find, and I don't know how to see more than just the damn thumbnail.
This is interesting.
Well, let's try it this way then. Image search, Bloom County Moose Lodge. Now that I know it's a Moose Lodge, and I'm still only getting the same thumbnail. Curse you to Hades, Google. Or the people who should be putting these strips online and aren't. Curse you to Hades too. I wouldn't want you to feel left out. Which was, by the way, kind of a paraphrase of something Londo once said in Babylon 5, but never mind.
This is very interesting. The font of all knowledge here has a little something on the Loyal Order of Moose, and they go into the rituals, and it's very interesting to me for a word that they use in here. I'll pick it up in the middle. At this point, the lodge performs the 9 o'clock ceremony, and then the lodge chaplain or prelate explains the 10 thou shalts. Next, the governor grasps the hands of the candidates while the members sing, "Blessed be the tie that binds." Finally, the governor administers the second part of the obligation. The candidates promise to support Mooseheart, Moosehaven, help fellow Moose, settle disputes within the order, and not to join any unauthorized Moose organizations. The prelate offers another prayer at the altar, and all then join in singing "Friendship We Now Extend." Jeez, I mean, all this religious terminology you've got going here, specifically, it looks specifically Catholic, actually. Although I suppose it could extend to some other denominations, but you're talking about chaplains, you're talking about altars, you're talking about prelates. Jesus Christ, guys, tone it down, will you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they have some sort of requirement where you got to be a good Christian or some shit like that too. Oh, right, Kitty. Ralph Crampton and Ed Norton were members of the International Order of Friendly Sons of the Raccoons.
How odd. That seems like a strange thing to name your order.
Yeah, really. I mean, Benedictine or Franciscan would come to mind, but no, those are already taken. Grand Poobah from Harmonica Man up there a little while ago.
Yeah, it's funny because like I used to think that the term poobah was from something specific, but it seems to be a really old term.
Okay. And then, yeah, I like the one from Purple. My sister was bitten by a moose.
No, really, moose bites can be very nasty.
Yes. Oh, something about an electric toothbrush in outer space, and I don't know.
Funny, I was asking people, or actually, I guess I wasn't really asking people so much, but I was saying on the Bionic Dance Facebook group, I was like, I've often thought it'd be interesting to take a stimulant and a depressant at the same time and see what happens. Let them battle for dominance.
Yeah,
But
probably.
they're not going to just cancel each other out, are they? It doesn't work like that. I mean, unless one of them is going to break down the other, you'll probably just end up getting the worst side effects and symptoms of each, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they'd probably have to, break them, because otherwise you're just like, you get the spectrum of stimulation and you're being pulled in multiple directions. It can't be good for you. And the reason I brought it up, actually, is because it seems to be what theists picture in their heads when it comes to science. Is it makes sense that a stimulant and a depressant would just cancel each other out, with the gut feeling. It seems like that's the kind of thing that ought to happen. And it's bullshit because your gut feeling is bullshit,
Right.
And so it's like, I have to wonder, how much was that thought in my head of let them fight it out for dominance before I corrected myself? How similar is that to theists who try to say like, oh yeah, evolution and abiogenesis, those are the same thing, right? If you believe in the Big Bang, you're an evolutionist, right? And it's like, you guys have no idea how these things work, do you? If you knew the science behind abiogenesis and the science behind evolution, you'd realize they're not the same.
Oh, right. And I've talked about this in other venues. Excuse me. I have to wonder how many of them do not know about this and how many of them do know and use that knowledge that they have to craft bullshit arguments opposing all the stuff. I mean, for example, Georgia Purdom is allegedly a geneticist. I mean, I know she hasn't published anything since her PhD thesis, or not thesis, a dissertation. But, allegedly she got one the right way. And is she using what she got there to craft her arguments against evolution, against abiogenesis? And then, of course, you've got, what the hell is that jackass from Australia? Well, there are a few of them. But the geologist, oh, God, talking out of both sides of his mouth.
That could be anybody.
Yeah, writing papers accepted by respected journals at the same time that he's writing shit for the creationist stuff. Somebody help me! Oh,
You're gonna have to give me more information than just that.
Not Ken Ham.
Here's a question for you. Now, isn't Ken Ham? Oh no, he's Australian. It's Great Comfort's the New Zealander.
Right. No, it's not Ken Ham. This guy is a geologist. He has a legitimate PhD.
Well, here's a question. What's he look like?
A round, dumpy character.
Okay, the guy I'm thinking of right now, A, I think he's not a geologist, and two, I'm pretty sure he's not Australian. The hell's the name of that guy? He loves
There it is.
this.
There it is. Andrew Snelling.
Okay, totally not who I was thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, he betrays his PhD, definitely. And I do wonder if he uses what he got out of his PhD to craft the arguments that he submits to AIG.
That guy, I haven't seen him in so freaking long.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Let's see, though. So now I want to know who the hell the guy is that I'm thinking of. He debated Hitchens a lot. He's bald, but he's got the fringe back there, and he's pretty dumpy. Quite old. Who the hell am I thinking of?
You thinking of Lennox?
Yes, that's who I'm thinking of.
Okay. Yeah, and he's essentially a mathematician. You know, what's he doing getting into anything resembling geology or cosmology?
Well, I don't think he does. I think he's just like an evangelical or whatever, an evangelist.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think he's Roman Catholic.
Yeah, it's not important. The point is that's who I was mentally picturing when you started describing this other fella, and I was wrong.
Okay, then. Is a Northern Irish mathematician specializing in group theory, a philosopher of science, and a Christian apologist. One of these things just doesn't belong. Oh, Lord. He's an idiot.
You know, I have met so very few people named Harold.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I can name maybe one.
I've known a Harold or two, but very, very few. Usually going by Harry.
Now, I do have, I want to say, a relative named Harry, but I think he's just named Harry. I don't think it's short for anything.
Okay.
God, who is that? Is that like my mom's cousin's kid? I haven't seen them in decades. It doesn't matter. Yeah, my mom apparently had some falling out with her side of the family, and that's why we never see them anymore. But
oh God, does that sound familiar?
But it wasn't like a big knockdown screaming fight. It was more just a matter of like, whatever, you know, like kind of falling out where people just stop giving a shit about each other. I don't know.
Yeah, because he did not like her family at all. There were several arguments between him and more than one of those people. And yeah, that's why I never got to see that side of the family very often. And they blamed it on me that I didn't know them. It was a situation where, you know, I just couldn't get to you guys. And then even when I'm trying to ask those two about, you know, addresses or phone numbers or something, hey, you know, I'd like to get hold of Tom, or I'd like to get hold of Gene. They simply would refuse to supply anything. So it was only when my sister died that I got in touch with a couple of them.
It's so hard to picture, like, just basically saying to a family member, never again, persona non grata, and for no good reason either. Like, you haven't done anything. We're just sort of ickified by, like, your lifestyle, you know?
I wouldn't know about that.
No, not at all. But I mean, like goodness knows there are legit reasons to tell a family member to get lost. Like maybe they've been physically beating you, maybe they've been like stealing from you, maybe they prefer Star Trek to Star Wars, whatever it is. There are reasons to cut people out of your life that are better than what you're gay. I don't care. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
just saying.
You humiliate us. No, I don't. Trust me. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay. I know I don't talk about this all that often. I mean, I do talk about it, but not constantly. But here's one thing. I will say it. I will get it out. I hope fervently and wish that those two died isolated and abjectly lonely. That's it. Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am.
There are definitely people out there where I think it would be for the best if they were to not merely die, but to die a slow, protracted, and painful death. And I don't just mean Shatner or Trump.
There you go. Yeah, the problem I have with an idea like that is, when I think about people I would like to see die a slow, protracted death, unfortunately, infinitely protracted is not an option.
Well, not if death is your end goal, no, but you could certainly leave someone in like long-lasting agony.
There you are.
You just have to soundproof the basement quite well.
Oh man. And then I like what Beth has to say there. Yeah, I don't care if people aren't gay. Same difference.
I care if people aren't gay. I need me a little something something over here. It'd be nice if more people were gay. It'd make dating so much easier. So yes, I care if they aren't gay. Like one of my best friends from high school. Oh, I had such a crush on her, but well. Still, we're friends to this day, so it's like, the healthy sort of friend zone.
Okay, then.
Well, because I remember a time back when the friend zone was you tried to go out with someone, they rejected you, you stayed friends, very little changed. That was the friend zone. Sure, you might be disappointed, but big fat hairy deal, you're still friends. Nowadays, the friend zone is, oh my God, that bitch friend zoned me, I deserve to fuck her, this isn't okay, this is anti-man, or whatever it is that those incels scream about, that's not what the friend zone started out as. The friend zone was, I don't think about you that way. Can we still be friends? Sure, we can still be friends. Okay, I'm in the friend zone. Big fat hairy deal. We're friends. I'm glad to have you in my life. That's the friend zone as it originally was.
Oh my. And then there's the cat zone.
Well, yes.
Right.
In my case, that would be there and there. Well, because Columbia's over here, I can't tell if she's asleep, but she's certainly lying down, and she's breathing way too fast. I hope she's okay. Xander, on the other hand, totally sacked out on the chair, and it looks like he's chasing rabbits.
Okay, then.
Yo.
Yeah, this morning or whatever passed from morning, I heard what sounded to me like a kitten. I heard this through the open bedroom window. And, here I am thinking, okay, do I get up and get dressed and go and see what's going on here? Because, that's how this one over here came to be part of my life. And, there you go. The crazy cat lady taking in strays. Yeah, the sound was definitely.
Sorry, go on. I thought you were done.
Oh, the sound was definitely kittenish. Probably 10 weeks old. Sounded a little bit like you. Yeah.
So what Purple says, it's true. Yeah, if you feel like their friendship is some crappy consolation prize, you were a lousy friend to begin with, and they are better off without you. This is totally true. I mean, like I say, this friend of mine from high school, we're friends to this day, and I value her presence in my life. It stinks we couldn't be more, but by no means was it a requirement. And I'm, like I say, glad she's in my life still. So. And hell, we live 3,000 miles away. If we can maintain a friendship from 3,000 miles away and there's not a scrap of a sexual component, you know what? I really didn't lose all that much when she turned me down. You know?
Okay, then. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Didn't help that we had known each other since, what was it, like junior high? Well, we didn't have junior high, middle school, right? We'd known each other since then. Of course, I knew she was straight, so what you gonna do?
Yeah, that's problematic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know. I mean, I guess I see a pretty decent argument for bisexuality, but at the same time, boys are icky, so I don't want to be that.
yeah, well, the way it goes, though, when you're bisexual, you have twice the chance of being turned down.
Yeah, well, you know me. If I want sex, I have to buy it. Thus, bisexual.
Meow, 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 meow. Damn cat. Oh my! You is a kittiness. Yes, you is. Yeah. Damn cat.
Oh, so the mold problem there is not related to the intervention with the mom, then. So I'm looking at what Mage Grey Wolf typed, and it seemed like a bit of a non sequitur, the whole mold problem part.
Move beef.
Yeah. Oh, not important, really. It just, it caught my eye, and I was confused for a mo.
Oh, right.
So,
Jeez.
family there, does she cook dinner for you, or does she cook me dinner?
That is for you.
Tinder, yes. I can't remember. Is Tinder the one where you're looking for sex hookups, or is Tinder the one where you're actually looking for relationships?
Couldn't tell you.
Because I can't recall. I know there's one where it's all just about hooking up with people. And I don't remember which. Or is Tinder the one where you swipe?
Swipe?
Yeah, there's the app where you look at someone's profile and you swipe left or right to decide if you're interested in them, or to say whether you're interested in them. And then they will get a notification if you're interested, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to find out here.
Yeah, Purple, of course there are. But I don't know. I'm not even looking for sex that much anyway. Also, oh no, Tinder's not the one I'm thinking of that's almost entirely gay men. That's Grindr. That's
right.
They sound all the same. I mean, Tinder, Grindr, Finder, whatever. They all
Tinder's the one that allows you to anonymously swipe to like or dislike. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. Internet dating sucks anyway. It's like, I don't even want to buy pants I haven't tried on yet. Like off of Amazon or some shit. I'm not sure I want to get a date that way. Plus, they usually don't deliver. Well, whatever. Of course, all of this advice on dating apps doesn't even matter. We're in the middle of a pandemic, people. Maybe it's just me, but I'm thinking a one-night stand during a pandemic ain't the best idea in the world.
Right. One-night stand. No, thank you.
Yeah, besides, shouldn't they be a one-night lie down?
Well, that too, yes.
I mean, unless you're like doing it in the alley or the shower or something, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Haven't done it in the shower in a hell of a long time.
Okay. Actually, I'm not sure whether you can or not, but there are certain places I won't put my tongue as long as people are diseased. Yeah, it's true, Major. Well, like the twice that I've ever had anyone look at my profile and we actually ended up going on a date. This was on, oh, what the hell's the website? Why am I blanking? Not that it matters. Not important. They were both horrible.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Well, that's
damn it, what's the one I'm thinking of? It's a website. It's not as like phone app specific. What the hell am I thinking of?
okay, stupid.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, Cupid. Yes, thank you. I don't know why I was blanking on that so hard, but I could not remember that.
No, the couple of times, I think it was twice, that I actually dated someone off okay, stupid. It was just horrible. Yeah.
I gotta say, Purple, okay, online BDSM chat room. I mean, I actually prefer someone's intelligence, so she'd better be smart as a whip. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Okay, it can be clunky to get the sound effects going on my phone. I need like a soundboard so I can do like the sad trombone and the rim shot and the what, like when I need it, because my sense of humor really needs sound effects to let people know, no, I wasn't being actually genuinely crazy. I was being silly.
Okay.
So.
Christian Mangle. Oh gods.
Oh, did you hear about the dating site that they want to open with like the Matt Powell and the what's his face, Steven Anderson, the NIFB? Those folks are starting their own dating site.
What for people too right wing to get laid anywhere else?
No, actually, they explicitly state that their goal is to find people to get married to each other.
Okay.
Yeah, and to actually get onto the site, they have to get like notarized letters from your priest or some shit to tell them, yes, I'm in the NIFB.
Okay, then.
And there's like all these rules about what you're allowed to do and not to do on these dates that you go on, and like I seem to remember the girls have to prove that they're ready to be moms, and the guys have to prove that they have a really well-paying job that can support a family, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like, okay, so this dating site, everyone has like 3 or 4 people they're going to match up with at this point, with all these restrictions.
Well, it sounds like me and okay, stupid, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. There's also like I forget, I don't think it's just called agnostic.com, but there is a secular dating site out there.
I think I know the one, and I can't remember what it's called either.
Well, I gotta say, like, nobody has ever contacted me saying, dude, you're hot, let's go on a date because you're local. It just doesn't happen, So either my profile sucks, or I'm ugly, or people aren't looking, or I don't know what, but for whatever the reason, yeah, no one wants to hook up with my dumb butt on that site, that's for sure.
Oh, you am I not annoying? Oh, it is agnostic.com. Yay. Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe when the pandemic's over, I'll make more of an effort because, darn it, spending this much time on my own where the only in-person conversation I have are with cashiers, I'm starting to think when the pandemic's over, the kids got to go out getting dating.
Okay.
Just saying, it's time to start making more human connections.
Well, I don't know.
In-person human connections. I got plenty of the online stuff.
Right. Oh my! what I'm thinking is when I'm looking at all this stuff and everything, you're looking at the sites and all that stuff. The impression I'm getting is that for me, the age and the IQ are both too high.
Okay.
Because whatever responses I do get are barely intelligible. And it's from people who can't write to save their lives. And okay, as far as okay, stupid is concerned, if I lie and subtract 10 years from my age, I get a whole bunch more potential matches than I do when I tell the truth.
Hell, I could probably knock 10 years off of my own profile.
And there's the thing. I mean, I can get away with knocking 10 years off. I mean, it's kind of nice, and then again, it's meaningless. Where I'm consistently taken to be, 50. So okay, knock off 13 years, but besides that, and my first thought whenever I see a profile is, what's she like when she opens her mouth, and invariably not very desirable when you say anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, gosh, my dating pool has to be awfully tiny. I mean, how many like at least mildly enthusiastic about sci-fi fantasy single lesbians are out there around about my own age? I may be the only one.
Yeah, couldn't tell you there. Yeah, well, Mage, there you go. Oh, she's cute. Oh, it's an old profile, and she's married with 2 kids now.
How many are going to say, wow, you make your money on YouTube, you're stable, let's start a family, that kind of thing. It's like, I don't know. Because it's weird when you're not looking for just a fuck buddy, but you're also
Right.
not looking for, like the 2.3 kids and the dog, right?
Mhm.
Like there's those are the two extremes where most people seem to be clustered. That in the middle, I'm looking for companionship and not necessarily all that much rumpy pumpy, it's a difficult sell. I suspect if all I wanted was sex, it'd be a lot easier. I suppose if what I wanted was kids, it'd be easier. And I suppose if I had a more traditional job, it'd be easier. I suppose if I wasn't a complete geekatron, it'd be easier. So,
And then there's this kitty.
Also, I suppose it'd probably help if I was dog people, too.
I don't know. I don't know how much that means, but
I know very few cat-oriented lesbians.
oh, okay.
Yes. It may be a stereotype, but it seems to be true that lesbians like dogs better.
Did not know that.
So, well,
I mean, I've been had by a puppy, but that was years and years ago, and I'm just a cat person mainly. Well, they are not. They don't hang on you the way a puppy does. You are the pack leader to a puppy, and you are a friend to a kitty.
yeah.
Yeah, and they're low maintenance for the most part until they get
Even
bored.
if cat pee really does smell that icky.
Yeah, there you go. And then, of course, yeah, you do have the time you run into when they get bored, and then suddenly they are higher maintenance than they were a little while ago.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help that, I find dogs quite terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, if the choice came down to my cats or a relationship, I'm taking the cats, frankly.
Okay, okay.
You know, I mean, hell, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be with someone who would make me get rid of the kitties. That's like,
Oh, I know that feeling. Yeah.
you know,
And well, the other problem that I've got is I've been alone so long, I don't know how to have an in-person relationship anymore. Really, I don't.
wow.
Not that I ever knew in the first place, you know.
Well, the weird thing is because I'm not all that interested in sex, every time I picture what a relationship looks like, it comes off more like a roommate who snuggles.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. That's like right now kind of my ideal relationship. Maybe the occasional necking session, but you know,
Oh, I get that picture definitely.
eh.
What is to saying is am I not knowing?
Ugh.
What is am I to sleep to you to put into making?
I might need some caffeine.
Okay, that's yeah. If anyone ever says it's me
Or
or just say goodbye, yeah, I got that one. Oh yeah.
oh,
Oh
I don't know. I don't know. I'd be tempted to run with that. It's me or it's not.
yeah. Okay.
You know, I mean, well, yeah, okay. It's kind of like when someone says, "Oh gosh, I hope I'm not sick," or "I'm depressed and contemplating suicide," or something. The first thought that goes through my head, and I may or may not say it, but the first thing that goes through my head is, "If you die, I will never speak to you again." You know, and it's not wrong.
yeah, true, true, true.
You know, so I mean, yeah, that's my brain.
Well, at least you do have one of those.
Someday I hope to have two.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
It's kind of like one of my favorite jokes. You know, if you donate a kidney, you're a hero. If you donate 5 of them, you're a psycho who needs counseling.
Yeah,
You know, a bit of a double standard.
there you go. And I'm
Whose
trying to
blood is
remember.
this, and where did you get it? You know?
Trying to remember if there was one of those 1950 sci-fi horror pictures, something about the man with two brains.
Well, I mean, that was a Steve Martin movie.
Oh, it was. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's like I want to say Kathleen Turner, but I might be wrong. Was the woman who was the brain in the jar that he fell in love with? I
Okay.
might be wrong about the Kathleen Turner part. The man with two brains. Survey says 1983, Steve Martin and Kathleen Turner. Go me.
Bing, 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 bing.
Oh,
Directed
wow.
by
David
Paul
Warner
Reiner.
was in that.
Who?
And
What?
James Cromwell. Oh, my. I mean, the rest of the cast, I don't really know who the hell they are, but those are still some people who are prominent in my world. Oh my gosh, Summer School was such a bad movie. Okay. It's like for a while there, I went on this binge of here's all the movies that I remember seeing on the shelf but never rented when I was little. Let's watch them now. And because they weren't streaming, I had to buy copies, and I own so many absolutely terrible low budget 80s comedies now.
Okay.
Seriously, Summer School was so bad. I mean, oh my gosh, that was bad. That was like, gosh, we wish we could be Animal House and or Revenge of the Nerds, but we have one fourth the budget and none of the star power. So, yeah.
Oh, geez.
I mean, sometimes I wonder how many movies could have been saved by having better actors. And how many movies were just the script is this bad and nobody could save it?
Yeah, there you go. And as a matter of fact, the script might be so bad it's a career ruiner.
Well, you know what I'm actually reading right now is a graphic novel that is basically it's George Lucas's first draft for Star Wars is what this graphic novel is. And it's utterly incomprehensible. It like number 1, it feels kind of like Star Wars as in episode 4 meets Phantom Menace, and like Luke is now this old man who looks remarkably like George Lucas when he was a young man. And like Anakin is, I think, his son, but someone else, I'm trying to remember what the name is now, but it was like another character's name that we all know and love, was the younger brother who ends up getting killed like right at the beginning. And so now it's like Luke and Anakin are going around basically filling the Obi-Wan and Luke roles. And then there was this other guy who looked almost exactly like old man Luke, except his name was something else entirely, and he's almost entirely cyborg from the neck down. And Han Solo is a giant green monster who looks remarkably like Swamp Thing. And like, I'm not even kidding about that. Whitson, that was the name of the guy. Whitson was the totally cyborg dude, I think. And like Darth Vader is not Darth Vader anymore, but the dude being Darth Vader, he doesn't have the full mask on, he just has the helmet. And there's this one other dude who looks remarkably like Admiral Thrawn, except one of his eyes is red instead of blue, and all this wacky shit. And I'm just reading it going, this makes no sense at all. And whoever the hell like edited the script for him did an amazing job. And Brainbug, low budget 80s horror movies, low budget 80s sci-fi movies, though, yes. I mean, have you ever watched the remake of Invaders from Mars or the remake of The Blob?
Oh my. I'm trying to remember if I've seen the remake of The Blob. I've seen the original.
The original, by comparison, is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it was one of the best things about it.
No, I mean terrible as in unwatchable terrible, rather than terrible as let's pay $5 to see this in an indie movie house at midnight. Purple. I don't remember anything about a giant green rabbit. I do know that Han Solo was giant and green and looked like Swamp Thing. But then they also encountered the Wookiees for the first time at one point, and so like Han and Chewbacca were not friends yet. Let me see. Yes, there's a good picture. Copy image and paste image, and now share screen and an application. Wow, this is so many steps now. Okay, there. That is Han Solo in the original script.
Okay.
Like I said, looks remarkably like Swamp Thing, doesn't he?
Yes.
So yeah, that's Han Solo. Hold on, copy image, and like I said, here's Han Solo, Swamp Thing. Right? They got the same ridge on the nose and all of that stuff. So yeah.
Moo.
But like I was saying, this right here, that's Luke Skywalker.
All right.
Yeah. So very, very, very different from the original, from what we know and love.
Yeah,
and I think I see the green rabbit that Purple was talking about, but I don't know where it's from. Yeah. Anyway, it's funny because, like, as much of as I'm a Star Wars fan, I know a lot of the trivia and everything. It's all from the movies, the expanded universe, extended universe, whichever one they're calling it. I mean, a lot of it was just, it didn't feel like the movies. I don't know. Well, whatever. It's not important.
Moo.
I know I've told you the story about how I've only played my Star Wars Trivial Pursuit board game twice, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, your Return of the Living Dead. A friend of mine was an extra in that one.
Return of the Living Dead Jedi. Luke's father was never actually shown. Like, I mean, when I say it was different, I mean it was really different. Like if you encountered this thing and they had changed every name that made you think this is Star Wars somehow, and then you read it, you would not know it was supposed to be Star Wars.
Okay.
Oh, and you should see what Princess Leia looks like. Because honestly, she looks more like Padme from the prequels.
Okay, you got me on that one. I don't. I have to look that up.
Princess Leia?
Padme.
Oh, Queen Amidala. You never saw the prequels, did you? Natalie Portman's character.
Did not see the prequels.
Oh. Trying to find a good. Here we go. Copy image, paste in. What? Oh, that's funny. This picture I found that's a good example of what these characters look like is actually also a Jay and Silent Bob sort of joke. Because, yeah, Anakin does look remarkably like Jay of Jay and Silent Bob. So Snooch to the Nooch holding a blunt, yeah. But this is what those characters look like. That's Anakin and Leia in this comic.
Okay.
And yeah, Purple, I'm with you there. Like I have in the animation I'm working on, there was a character who was originally going to be a space pirate who turned into almost the comic relief, where before there was also a character I cut entirely who was a former classmate of Quinn's who hated him because he dropped out and went on adventures Indiana Jones style instead of completing his training and becoming an officer, right? But I dropped that character because it added nothing to the story, at least for the animation. He may come back later if I extend the story. And the space pirate character, I was having a hard time introducing him. So this other character is actually a bridge to the space pirate. So yeah, I totally get how stories can change. It's just sometimes they end up so different that they're not even the same thing at all. Just saying.
Just saying. There we are.
Yeah.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
So
there we are and there we is, or there we are and here we is, or something.
And I have a couple of stories in mind that may turn into Quinn Redshift stories or may turn into something standalone. I haven't decided. So we'll see.
No, Tara, I think I know where Harmonica Man's coming from when he says he'll never be published. In other words, unless I'm wrong, somebody clue me in here if I am wrong. I think that still in most cases when you're self-publishing, you're bearing the cost. You're not getting anyone to front you the publication cost. So it could be saying, I'm never going to get an advance to write this thing and get it out there. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with self-publishing, A few people I know have done that, and one of them rather successfully. Um, because RJ has, let me think here, one, two, at least three books out. RJ being RJ Downard, uh, whose books include Evolution Slam Dunk, The Paralogs of Phileas Fogg, and the latest one written with Jackson Wheat called The Rocks Were There, and he's working on another one. Yeah, look him up on Amazon. I've got two of his books, and they're darn good. Really, 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 really good. It's just that I have to pick up. Um, I have to pick up Evolution Slam Dunk again. It's been sitting on the table for a while. Um, but I've got some stuff to do, and once I get it done, I've got some paperwork to do to recertify for the help with paying for Medicare and the food stamps. And when I get that stuff done, then recertifying for HUD's going to come up. Yeah, I got a lot of shit coming up right now.
Sorry, I had something Brainbug said. I had to reply to it, but couldn't because you were talking. That's why I typed. Because, I mean, you've heard me go on and on and on about how, like, the 80s were the best time for movies. And here we got Brainbug saying 85 to 89. Well, yeah, that's kind of my time right there. Just a smidge.
Okay, then.
There are some great, like, sci-fi and horror movies that are kind of on the low budget side, but still great. I mean, hell, you look at Buckaroo Banzai, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. Not exactly the biggest budget movie in the world, but it's got a stellar cast, and it's definitely got that sort of this will be a cult movie vibe to it, and it is one. So, yeah, I mean, it's not horror, it's sci-fi, but those two have a lot of crossover. I mean, I will defend to the death the fact that Aliens is a horror movie.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But I know a lot of people who say, it's just an action sci-fi flick. Really? I was terrified by the end of it, and I'm sure most of the characters were too. Before they died.
Yes.
A lot to giant monsters. I mean...
Well, no, wait. How do you die a lot? And how does that compare with dying a little?
Well, I actually ripped that line off from the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, because Paul Rubin's character, like, pointed at one of the fucking Jason Priestley type guys and points at him and says to the minions, "Kill him a lot." And for some reason, that line stuck in my head so hard that I use it all the time, even though that movie was terrible. So, and that movie was really bad. I mean, really bad. I've only seen it twice, and I regretted it both times.
Okay,
in fact, for years I refused to watch the Buffy TV series because the movie was so bad. Because I figured I just didn't want more of the same, and people told me it wasn't the same, but I didn't believe them, and only started watching it because that girl I was crushing on that time made me.
Okay.
And honestly, the TV series is amazing, but the movie can go fuck itself, except for that one line. It's kind of like there's one line in the Big Lebowski I love, but the movie itself, I don't know why people enjoy it. I really don't. But that one line slays me every time.
You preferred the Little Lebowski, right?
No.
Okay. Checking.
The Jell-O didn't help. I'm starting to get hungry again.
Well, that's one of the things there that Jello kind of helps for the moment, but long-term hunger suppression, yeah, it's not the best. Which is why I had 2 pints.
Shouldn't even be having 1 pint of Jello, not in one sitting.
Aw.
I mean, let's face it. Number one, not good for you. Number two, diabetes, anyone?
I'm not sure how much sugar is in there. I know it's sugar, but I don't know how much is in
Well,
there.
I mean, it wouldn't be a matter of how much if it weren't for the fact that we're talking about pints here. Multiple pints. Yeah. And isn't there some weird, like maybe I'm wrong? I seem to remember hearing this, but if I heard it, it was 10 years ago or more. But isn't there some weird hormonal effect from Jello? Like, don't you get hormones from Jello?
I don't know. Do you?
I swear there's a thing. It says here collagen hydrolysate. I don't know. And gelatin provide a uniquely healthful amino acid profile that helps balance hormones. So maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know who's coming up with that one.
Well, it says here empoweredsustenance.com, so maybe not the best place to go looking. How about Health Online?
Yeah, that might be something.
Let's see. So, collagen is the most plentiful protein found in humans and animals. Oh, well, that's why we get it from bones. Oh, that's what is gelatin. Where's the summary of what it can do at you? May improve joint and bone health. Imagine that consuming stuff made from joints and bones can help you. Well, anyway, improve the appearance of skin and hair, it says.
I don't know how much it does that. I've not seen any studies or anything. It would be interesting to take a look.
Okay, you know what? Keep eating the Jello. And I'll tell you why. Because it says it may improve brain function and mental health.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gelatin may help you lose weight? Huh.
I almost can understand that. I mean, if you're eating something that's filling but low calorie at the same time.
In one study, 22 people were given 20 grams of gelatin. As a result, they experienced a rise in the hormones known to reduce appetite and reported that the gelatin helped them feel full. Interesting.
Interesting, yes. And all it took was 20 grams?
Yes. It may help you sleep. The amino acid glycine, which is abundant in gelatin, has been shown in several studies to help improve sleep. In 2 high-quality studies, participants took 3 grams of glycine before bed. They had significantly improved sleep quality and had an easier time falling asleep and were less tired the following day. Around 1 to 2 tablespoons of gelatin would provide 3 grams of glycine. Interesting.
A shitload of glycine, but
well,
I wonder.
Here's this article calling me a liar. It could help with type 2 diabetes.
Oh, geez. Okay. I wonder if there's anything that helps with nightmares.
Yes. Horror movies and clowns will definitely help you have nightmares.
No. I want to not have them.
Well, you should have been more specific, shouldn't you?
Because I'm having too fucking many of them.
I forgot about this one. Gelatin may play a role in gut health. It says here one of the amino acids in gelatin, called glutamic acid, is converted to glutamine in the body. Glutamine has been shown to improve the integrity of the gut wall and help prevent leaky gut, whatever the frell that is. A leaky gut is when the gut wall becomes too permeable, allowing bacteria, frontiera, and other other potentially harmful substances to pass from the gut into the bloodstream, a process that shouldn't happen normally. Oh, this is thought to contribute to common gut conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome. Okay. Reduce limb damage, may slow cancer growth, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there's benefits. I didn't see any drawbacks. You'd think there'd be drawbacks.
I don't know. I'm thinking of irritable bowel, and I'm just thinking of the intestine sitting there. Yeah, goddamn spleen.
Oh, please, like that joke. Geez, I knew where you were going after the third word of that joke. All you had to say was irritable bowel syndrome, and I was like, oh, I know where you're going with this.
Of course. I'm just too predictable, I know.
Well, it's the most obvious joke in the world. Yes.
Leaky gut is something the anti-vax crowd? Oh, Jesus, I didn't know that. Yeah,
my brain is composing horrible "why did the chicken cross the road" jokes, where cross is more like double cross rather than yeah, and it's not working, nothing's gelling, but it still seems like a joke that could be made somehow if I really thought about it.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Yeah, I was just thinking earlier today, as far as, okay, even if you get a favorable election result and you get the fascist out of the White House and a few of them out of the Senate anyway, you've still got a whole bunch of problems. One of those problems being the coronavirus. I'm starting to wonder how much would it help if you could erect barriers, close the borders of states with a high COVID count.
So get them to pay for their own wall, each state?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Anyone who wants can enter those states. They just can't leave.
I mean, it sounds a little dictatory.
Yeah, there's the thing.
It's like, oh, this state's a leper colony now.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, is it something that's...
Yeah.
Is that all that's going to help?
Might be.
I mean, it seems that the anti-maskers, et cetera. Hi, Columbia.
Okay, you are being so frustrating. Sit, Columbia. Okay, you know what? Off of there. Okay. Sorry.
They're not helping their own cause. So is it going to be one of these things you have to get parental on them?
The thing is, like, how do I put this? We have a decision to make on how much to give a shit about whether or not they scream about my rights, my freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't, if we decide to not care, then sure, fence them in until they actually grow a little smarts and stop killing themselves by walking around without a mask on. But if we do go, you know what, they have a point, this is kind of un-American, what can you do?
Well, there's the thing. They're not killing themselves specifically. They're not killing themselves solely. They're killing other people.
Yeah, but that's not nuance they're prepared to hear.
Well, there's the thing. They're not prepared to hear it, so maybe they've got to be made to understand.
Yeah, but when you start making people to understand, in that sort of police force kind of way, it does start to look a little fascisty.
And yeah, well, it does start to look a little fascisty.
I'm like, to be perfectly honest, I'd rather kick them out of the country than fence them into a small part of it. That at least feels less fascisty.
Okay. I'm up for that.
I mean, because Unless we do the like, okay, Canada, take over the East Coast and the West Coast, and now we are all part of Canada and Jesus land can fend for itself. If we start doing that, okay, fine. Let's build a wall around Jesus land. But if it's more like, okay, Missouri, you're a problem, so we're going to fence you in. And Florida, you're a problem, we're fencing you in. But the rest of the United States is still free. Honestly, that sounds about as not American as you can get.
Mm-hmm. And it's a matter of picking and choosing, I guess. It's what do you choose? There are people dying who don't want to die, in the sense that they're doing something about not dying, but they're dying at the hands of those who don't give two shits.
Well, I mean, the problem is that it's so passive. If it wasn't a passive method of killing people, then I think it'd be a lot easier to justify locking people up if you had to. But because they're just walking around dick-nosing and breathing, and because the virus isn't visible, then it's really hard to get people to viscerally accept fencing off a leper colony or two. I mean, like it's a hard sell to the public. And I think that unless you want to go down in history as a fascist dictator, you can't do it.
My, oh my, oh my. And there we go. I'm reminded of that Star Trek episode.
You're going to have to be a lot more specific.
Well, one of the many episodes where the bridge crew was teleported down to a planet to, okay, in this case, they were the good fighting the evil, who was also various characters that were historical characters in the show universe who were regarded as evil. Okay, the bridge crew is fighting them because the alien creature who did all this wanted to see what the difference was between good and evil. And when the show is over,
was this?
Star Trek Original.
Oh, okay.
And when the whole thing is over, the creature asks Kirk, I've looked at what you've done, and I've looked at what they've done, and I see no difference between what good has done and what evil has done. Tell me, please, what the difference is. And Kirk says, well, what did you offer them? And the guy's money and power, and he said, yes, and you offered me the lives of my crew. So yeah, it's an ends versus means thing here, possibly.
Yeah, but the problem is that people are only going to see one of them. And if you and the thing is that you have to get people to live with your decision. I mean, the right thing to do is often not the possible thing to do if you want to get away with it.
Unfortunately.
So, I mean, by the same token, you also have to want to do the right thing. And so few of our leaders do.
Yeah. They want to do the popular thing because they want to continue to hold their positions.
Wow, I wish I had that much faith in them. I don't agree. I think that they do the expedient thing. I think that they look out for number one and only pay as much lip service as they have to maintain their position.
Okay, maybe that's the better way to put it, because that's basically what I was thinking. Yeah, because so many of the things that the greater number of people want, that those in a leadership position don't want.
Mm-hmm. And the weird part is how many people not only swallow the Kool-Aid, but start munching on the cup when they start hearing these plans these people have. It's like, oh yeah, they really care about me, even though they're destroying my ability to live and make a living and all of this stuff. But they're great because they hate on the people I hate. But somehow the mutual hatred that these people feel for an out group is enough to make people say, and I don't care if I'm solvent, I don't care if I'm healthy, I don't care about this, that, and the other thing, because the other is out to get us. Like, I don't know how you can justify that in your own head.
Well, the office holders are helping that along. I mean, for example, think of Turtle Man. The way I understand McConnell.
Oh.
The way I understand it, he's the most hated person in Kentucky and holds on to his office by convincing the voters that any alternative is worse.
Well, that's kind of what we got going in the presidency right now on the Democrat side.
Isn't it, though?
Man, wish I could go back in time and hog tie Obama right before Super Tuesday and make him not make those phone calls.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, where he convinced like Mayor Pete and Amy Klobuchar and I think a few others to drop out so that everyone would consolidate behind Biden. And he made sure that Elizabeth Warren stayed in to split the progressive vote.
Yes.
Right? And so the whole idea was to get Joe Biden nominated, which why would you even choose him out of all the available choices? But I mean, it's like, if I could make him not make those phone calls, we'd probably be in a much better place right now.
Yeah, I don't see how any place other than this one could be worse.
Nah, challenge accepted. I could make it so much worse.
Well, I mean, of the options that were available at the time, let's stay away from hypotheticals.
Well, okay, fine. You got to be more precise with your language over here. I'm going to take it and run with it.
Moo.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And it's funny to me how many people on the like moderate side are quite willing to sacrifice the future for the wants of the presence or of the present. Because, I mean, let's face it, they could easily make so much money hand over fist that they can never spend all of it without screwing over the working class. It would be the easiest thing in the world. Nobody needs to be a billionaire, much less inching towards trillionaire like someone I could mention. And that's just, it's unnecessary. But these people are like, no. Like making $300 million a year isn't enough.
Yeah, I know.
How is that not enough, you fucker? That's your own personal wealth. That's not even what's in your company. So I mean,
I'm trying to remember. Is it Bezos that's tending toward a trade in there?
Yeah, I thought so. But I mean, you could easily like have more money than you could ever fucking spend in your entire life and not screw over the working class. But they decided, no, let's go with the candidate who clearly divides the party. I mean, what did they think? That we'd all just fall in line without concessions? I mean, did they not learn their lesson from 2016? What did they think would happen?
They did not, no.
I mean, Hillary Clinton lost to a game show host, and shut the fuck up about popular vote. I know someone's already typing it. But even so, it should have been a landslide against Trump, and it was that close. It was a squeaker. And they don't learn their lesson from a squeaker against Donald Trump. How fucking stupid are these people?
Yeah.
But I guess it's all, ends matter more than the means. The ends justify the means. It doesn't matter how we get there as long as we get there.
Okay, I just did a little something. Yeah, for some of these pieces of shit that have an income of, say, $50 million a year, to break even, you've got to spend $136,986.31 per day.
I was waiting for the per whatever.
And it's like I can't imagine. I can't imagine doing that.
What, spending that much a day?
Yeah, what would I spend it on? I could
The
buy.
greatest party ever. Actually, I know what I would spend that on. Make a movie. I would make my absolute dream movie. Like, imagine if The Room had been good and sci-fi.
That's asking a lot, isn't it?
Well, but I mean, my point is that the dude, whatever his face was, Tommy, whatever, Wiseau, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. He was already independently wealthy when he started making The Room. And rather than like rent cameras, which is standard procedure, he bought them for his movie because he was that rich, right? And so he decides to make his dream movie. If I had that much money, I'd make my dream movie in a very similar fashion, and I'd end up spending all that money. I don't know how much a movie spends per day, but in the end, after a year, they often cost in the hundreds of millions to make now. So,
Okay, so some of the figures I know of as far as what people make per year, that might be a couple years' income.
What?
As far as the figures I know about, where some of these folks are making 50 million a year, okay, a film would be a couple of those years.
What?
You're saying that a film might cost what, 100 million to make by
More.
the time it's all done?
More. There are plenty of 300 million movies out there. Like usually the Marvel Cinematic Universe type stuff. And I'm sure a lot of that money goes to the cast because most of them demand like at least $5 million salaries for that movie. But even after that, a lot of it is just special effects, services, craft services, set building, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, okay. So 6 years of that income. Okay.
Wait, what? See, this is the part where I'm absolutely boggled. 6 years of what income? What the heck are you talking about?
Okay. I'm talking, as I've said before, people I've seen income figures for are making 50 million per year.
Ah, there's the context. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and okay, 6 years income at that rate. Okay. So yeah, it would take a little while to spend that.
Well, but I mean, again, like if someone's making a $300 million movie, and most of those movies are made over the course of 1 to 3 years, depends on the movie. I'm not sure. I'd have to get out a calculator and do let's see. So, let's do 300,000 mil. Let me see if I got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I didn't. I typed in too many zeros. 3 and then 100,000 million. Okay, so that's $300 million divided by, let's say, 3 for 3 years, and then divide that by Dave. It looks like you'd have to spend $273,972.60 a day.
Moo.
Yeah. And that's assuming that I typed all that in right, that my math is correct. But yeah, $273,972 a day for 3 years.
Okay.
I mean, that's before we factor in cast salaries and all of that.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
I mean, there are a lot of things I would totally do if I had a whole bunch of money, but I mean, again, I see money as a means to an end, not the end unto itself, unlike our corporate masters.
Mm-hmm. They remind me so much of Scrooge McDuck.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Is it that? No, it's not that time yet.
Actually, it's past that time by 5 minutes.
Okay, okay. I had the hour incorrect. Okay, so that explains the meow.
It does. It does. I wish Columbia and I could have better communication about whether or not lap sits are available. Because she'll look at me. She gives me this look like I want the lap. I can sit in the lap, right? And I'm just sitting there going, come on, come on. No, 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 come on. And she's like, lap, right? I can. And she'll put a paw out and I'll be like, that's good. Here, come on. And she takes the paw away. I'm like, Columbia, my gosh, Xander's figured this out. And he's not even a year old. If you want lap sits, just jump on the damn lap.
There you go.
You know?
Just remember to avoid the sensitive areas. That's all.
Well, I mean, she only hits the clit when I'm lying down.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah. But boy, when she hits it, holy shit. Also, she only tends to hit the nipples when I'm lying down. But when she hits them, holy shit. I gotta tell you, that hurts. I mean, Columbia's not a small kitty. And when she, decides to stand one paw on a nipple, it hurts like a motherfucker.
Especially when the weight-bearing area consists of the tip of a claw, right?
Well, she's better about the claws than you might think, although she does like to dig in. But usually it's the pad of the paw that hits a sensitive bit.
Okay, then. Okay, I mean, I would take that before I would take the whole claw thing. I mean, I remember when the little one would be nursing at my neck. I mean, just as she's kneading in that whole area there, even that not being a nipple or anything else, it's like, God, those are sharp. Come on, be nice.
And it's funny. Maybe it's just because he's not fully grown yet, but Xander's claws do not hurt that much. I mean, Columbia's do, but when a cat will play wrestle with you, you put your hand there and they grab onto it and they're gnawing just like, Xander's claws don't hurt. When he decides to launch himself off of my thigh, his claws don't hurt. Columbia, on the other hand, leaves perforations even through the thickest jeans. Now, I don't know if that's how grown they are or not, but
as many kitties as have had me, I'm not sure how that works. I mean, is it a matter of age or is it a matter of genetics somehow? Are some kitties naturally short-clawed or?
Well, if some kitties are naturally short-clawed, I think we need to start breeding them.
Yeah.
Because honestly, declawing a cat is cruel and should not happen.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want our cats to not be fur-coated razor blades, there's a chance we need to start actively breeding the lesser clawed cats.
And it would be just our luck if that sort of thing ran headlong into the law of unintended consequences.
I don't know. Like the only cats that can have short claw syndrome are long-haired cats that shed all the hell over the place. Yeah, okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll just get out some nail cutters and keep my cats trimmed,
Yeah.
Anyway, like I say, we're almost 10 minutes past feeding time for both the cats and me. So I'm going to make like a baby and head out. And I will probably see you, Sunday?
If not sooner, yeah, but Sunday definitely. And I should be all put back together by then. I may start working on that as soon as the show is over. I may wait until tomorrow morning. I'm not sure.
Although I would still like to know, because we were talking before the show about how to make Meet work rather than StreamYard with your current setup, with your broken setup. And I still think it's possible.
Okay,
I think it's possible. You just don't get to do things the way you prefer to do them.
It's possibly possible.
So I guess the question is, which do you care about more, the process or the goal?
Well, the goal is definitely foremost here. I mean, I would like one nice thing, I would like to have the broadcasting on a separate system anyway, just to keep things divided. Because one of the nice things I noticed here, that thing died, but it didn't take my everyday system with it.
So here's a question for you. Is it enough for it to be the same browser but a completely separate window, or does it have to be a different browser?
Well, this is what I've got to find out. The way
Not
things
really what you prefer. You said you want it to be on a different system. Now, when you say system, do you mean browser? Do you mean a different computer? What do you mean?
Okay, I have very strange setups here. On both of my computers, each computer has 2 operating systems on it.
Yeah. Not important. Just answer the
Well,
question.
that's exactly what's happening. You see,
I'm just saying, do you mean browser? Do you mean computer? Do you mean a different operating system that's run like 2 different, like a virtual machine? What are we talking about? Just give me a short answer here.
I prefer different operating systems.
Okay, and running on the same machine?
Oh, it can do that. That's fine.
Does it have to? Can you run 2 separate computers, or does it have to be on the same machine? In terms of your preferences.
It helps if it's on the same machine because I don't have to duplicate the cameras and the audio and everything else hardware.
So why is this important?
Because it costs money.
No. Why is it important to run 2 different operating systems for broadcasts?
No, I'm running on one given machine. I'm running one operating system for broadcasts, the other operating system for everything else I do.
Okay, why is that important?
Because if one system dies, it doesn't take everything. I mean, I'm able to do this broadcasting right now because when the disk died, it didn't take this with it.
Okay, well, ignoring for the moment the whole if something dies, this, that, or the other thing, what benefit during the broadcast itself is gained by using 2 different operating systems?
Oh, none. Not during during the thing itself.
None. To get to this whole time. That's what I was trying to get to.
It's all over. It's all the overhead is where you get, or it's where I get the advantage.
Okay, well, it's just that I was after specific data here because it would help me form an opinion on what to do, if anything. Okay. This is what I was talking about like a week or 2 ago, where I was saying talking to people who can think for themselves when you want specific data is very difficult. Finding simpletons to ask questions, is it 1 or 2? Oh, it's 2. They'll do that for you. Finding people who can think for themselves. Okay, which one is it? Well, under these circumstances, back in the day when I thought, no, just give me 1 or 2, It's just such a pain in the ass to ask people questions when they're intelligent because they want to give you information you didn't ask for. Anyway.
Both of my computers have 2 operating systems each.
Okay, so if you don't need for the broadcast a second operating system, would you be willing to use just one?
If I could work out the way to do it, sure. I could. It would be easier.
What is it you're unable to do that needs working out?
I have trouble broadcasting and running YouTube at the same time with the Google Meet going.
And where is the stumbling block? What is the actual difficulty?
In order to run Google Meet, I need to be running my Chrome signed in as Lavender Lady. But to run the YouTube, I need to have my Chrome signed in as Declarion.
Now that's the part I don't get. Why? Like, because we were talking before, and it sounded to me like you were just doing something in a funky way where it doesn't need to be done that way. Like, why can't you be logged in as dclarian and still use meet.google.com?
I suppose what I'm going to have to do is run the system that way and take screenshots, because I don't remember the exact message that it throws out there. It does throw one out that says, we're not going to let you do this.
Well, okay. See, here's the problem. Again, I asked a question. I need a very specific answer. Why can't you run either one of those logged in as the same person? I mean, what actually happens if you try to run both as dclarian or run both as Lavender Lady? Is there any scenario where one of those two will work?
If there is, I haven't found it yet.
Like, it sounds like you have to be logged into meet.google.com as, which one is it? As Lavender Lady?
Mm-hmm.
So why did you create an account using one and then create the other account using something else, like a different email address, or what? Why are those two separate?
They are separate because they are separated by a couple of years. Well, more than a couple of years. I started the...
Hold on. Technical details, woman. Are they different accounts? Are they the same account for something else? Are they different aspects of another account? What keeps them separate?
What keeps them separate is I started the YouTube account as dclarian back before
Okay, again, not important. Two separate accounts.
Yes, it is.
That's all I needed.
Because
okay.
I did the one, and then I couldn't do the other one as that. I couldn't do the other one as dclarian because it would mess up dclarian. So I had to come up with a different name.
What?
Yeah, because
no.
Because G Suite eats everything.
Okay.
It takes over everything. It's a pain in the butt.
Is G Suite an app or a site?
G Suite is the overarching thing that runs.
Is it a program or is it web-based? Is it a program or is it web-based? This is the info I need.
It's web-based.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
And it's the overarching thing under which Meet runs. And if you want YouTube connected to Meet, it runs under G Suite and all that sort. And then when I set up YouTube years ago, which is what, maybe 6 years, maybe more, I didn't have Google Meet.
Okay.
I set it up as whatever I set it up as. Here's the thing. Had I set the two of them up at the same time, I wouldn't have this problem.
Okay, but what is preventing you from linking them somehow?
I'd have to change one of them basically such that the people who are subscribed to me already under, on YouTube and everything else, I'd lose those subscriptions. They'd have to resubscribe. Who knows how many of them would?
Rewind. See, because I've only ever done any of this using my Bionic Dance account. That's why I'm kind of boggled here, is because you should be able to take your YouTube account and link it to a like full-on Google account, and it shouldn't be a problem. So I don't know what you're doing that hasn't allowed that.
You should be able to, but you're not.
Well, I know it's possible, and I'm trying to figure out what's preventing you from being able to link your YouTube account to your Google account. Because that should be possible.
I will try to call Google and ask them questions. I might get through, I might not. I'll give it a try.
It's just really hard to do this when I'm not there in person looking at your screen. But I think there should be a way. I mean, I know I've done it. I mean, hell, actually, if I go into like Google and look at my settings and my logins and all that stuff, I actually have like multiple accounts linked to my Google account. Yeah, I'm looking right here. It's like
I'm Mage Grey Wolf. I am not using the same email for both accounts. I need to
that's
keep,
the problem.
I need to keep the email separate.
Why?
I need to have a personal email, and I really don't want everything funneled through the Lavender Lady channel email.
So you might have to choose. Like as in, if you want to access, wait a minute, are they both Gmail, both of your email addresses?
Neither of them are.
Well, there's part of the problem. It really helps if they're Gmail addresses, because then they link automatically to your Google account.
Because the email for this channel is thelavenderlady.org. So I'm running a mail server for that. And then my personal email is fnordnet.net. I'm running an email server for that. Well, it's the same email server. It's just different accounts.
I see. I see what you've done. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work if you want to do all of this together. You know, like if you want to run Meet and you want to run YouTube, you're gonna have to use Gmail addresses. I mean, that's just like, I understand the appeal of having your own personal server, but that was a mistake.
Well,
honestly, when it came to this, that was a mistake.
Well, I set up fnordnet.net 16 years ago.
Not the relevant data point.
I've had that that email account, the various email accounts under that. I've had those for 16 years. That's the one everybody knows. That's the one everybody knows to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, the lavenderlady.org, it's kind of nice to have an email address with Lavender Lady in it to go along with the channel that's Lavender Lady.
Okay, but here's the thing about that. No one knows these email addresses from your YouTube account. They only know the YouTube addresses, or sorry, the email addresses that you type in to let them see. So you could still have the Lavender Lady email address and put that in like the description of your videos if you want people to contact you, but have the YouTube channel itself be linked to a Google email address. And you can even set it up so you can have all of the Google mail that gets sent to you forwarded to your own personal email address. That way, if you get notifications of comments on your videos, you'll be able to get notification of it in the email account that you prefer. They're just being forwarded to you from Gmail. But basically, if you're going to use Google's services, they're going to want you to use their email addresses. So you got to have a Gmail account to make all this stuff work as like a single unit. That's why my Bionic Dance account can be linked to Meet and to YouTube and to my Gmail address, because it's all Google. So that's kind of what you got to do.
Well, I've got some calls to make to see how easy it'll be to make the changes, or how difficult it'll be to make the changes.
But that's basically, yeah. Anyway, I really do have to feed the cats and myself. So, you know, not to the wolves. We'll just feed ourselves. But yeah, so I'll catch you later.
Okay, you take care. Be good. Have
Oh,
fun.
Lone Wanderer, you're going to want to put a comma there, or at least I really want you to put a comma there. Anyway, later.
Ah. Okay, and there we are in all my glory. No need to stand. No, don't throw money. I've got enough problems with that already. So I'm going to kind of fall off the end of the fall off the edge of the earth here and do my rebuilding and my stuff and everything else, and try to get everything working. And with any degree of luck, I'll actually have it working by Sunday, and we'll take it from there. And in the meantime, I want to thank everybody who's here. I want to thank everybody who's not here. You guys are the reason I'm doing this, and I love every minute of, well, almost every minute of it. But yeah, it's always nice to be appreciated, and as long as you guys keep coming back, I'll keep doing this. And be good, have fun. I know they're both, I know they're mutually exclusive. You do the best you can. And okay, I will in that case say thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.